YouTube family, and welcome to today's makeup tutorial. This is an easy everyday makeup look. I didn't want to do a big intro here because I know that the basic thing is that you just are busy women and you need to get out the door. And so I just wanted to give you a quick, easy makeup look that still looks polished, appropriate for the office, appropriate for if you're just having a casual day. Anyway, I just wanted to do that for you. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe by clicking that button below and hit that bell next to it so you can be notified of any future videos. Please excuse my hair today. I just pulled it up because I wanted to get it out of the way. Now I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit more so that you can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So I've already primed my face and I used the Makeup Revolution primer that we talked about already, that I used in the haul, or that I had in the haul, and I really like this. It seems to be doing really good. It doesn't feel tacky or anything on my skin right now. It's been setting in there for a little while. Now normally on the daily I like a pretty glam look myself personally, but I have a lot of time to be able to do that, and I know that a lot of you don't. So I wanted to go ahead and just show you what a really quick out the door look will be. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just using a two-sided foundation brush that I got from Doll 10. So one side is just flat foundation and the other side is for putting on concealer. And what I always like to do is I like to give that a good spray with Max Fix Plus, or any spray that you have will work. And then I'm going to actually use one of my favorite foundations, which is the IT Cosmetics CC Your Skin But Better CC Illumination Foundation. I love this stuff, and I use about 3 pumps because what you're gonna see is I have a lot of pigmentation down here on my neck that is different than this part of my face or even my neck down here. So this is chest, I meant. So I'm just gonna pick that up on the brush. It's a lot faster, and I'm just gonna start to buff. And just going to buff that all over my face. And what I love about this foundation particularly is that it is a no fuss foundation. So on days when you're just wanting to get out the door, you don't have a lot of time, it covers beautifully. It doesn't give you a look like you've got a lot of makeup on, and yet it has medium to full coverage, and I really love that. So I'm just going to put that all over, buff it in everywhere, and I'm also going down the chin, paying attention to the ears because my ears are going to show today with my hair up, and all the way down, and then I'm going to get down here to the neck, sorry, the chest, and I'm going to just buff that in really quickly. Now if you have a lot of blemishes in certain spots, you can go back over and just dab it like this with your brush, and you will get a look on that to cover really well. I do have a lot of hyperpigmentation and a few scars from recent zits, which are just lovely, aren't they? Okay, today I am trying a new concealer from NARS. This is their, let's see, Soft Matte Illuminate Concealer, and I have this in the color Cannellini. I think that's what it is. So it just is in a pot like this. I've heard several YouTubers talk about this, and I'm just going to go ahead and go right into the pot with my brush. I should have sprayed that a little bit, but I'm going to do that just a little bit right now. And I'm just going to go under here, and I'm just going to dab. And I'm going to take it over the top of my eyelids to help any discoloration also. And over into that corner. And blending this out. Now, if you want your makeup and your foundation to look beautiful throughout the day, you do have to normally do a lot of buffing. But what I find as I do my makeup in a hurry is that I use the tools that are given to me in other things, such as a nice setting powder, which I don't normally use a lot of setting powder. I am really light on it because my skin is dry and I don't like to look really cakey at the end of my makeup. That's just not a good look. Ooh, this is pretty. Can you guys see how well that's covering? Oh, that's really pretty. And that's even without a beauty blender. Look how well that's covering. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of the, I think this is porcelain in the Fit Me, Maybelline Fit Me. And I'm just gonna put it right here on my cheeks for a little bit of brightness. And down my nose, just to brighten a little bit. And then just buff that in. And I'm gonna stay away from those under eyes too much because I don't want to disturb how pretty that concealer was. Oh my goodness, I really like that. I'll have to do a full review for you guys on that very soon. Really pretty. I wasn't expecting a lot because everybody's been saying that it's a lot like the Tarte Shape Tape, so I wasn't expecting too much, but I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, and then I'm going to lay down really quickly a shadow base just because I know that that concealer is not going to hold my eyeshadow on for the whole day. And I'm just going to really lightly, that was Essence I Love Contour, or I Love Color Shadow Base. It's basically just doing two things. It's helping your eyeshadow to stay, and it's helping to take out the hyperpigmentation that you might have. Okay. Now I am going to go to this Ultra Brow palette that I had. This wasn't in the haul, but I have hauled this before, and it has the 6 shades right here, and I'm going to use that lightest shade right down there in the taupe. And I am going to use a spoolie from IT Cosmetics with the eyebrow brush that I have had forever, and just brush those brows up. And because I don't have a lot of time today, basically all I'm going to be doing is just dabbing into that palette a little bit and just following the natural curve of my brow. And I still have okay brows. They're not the greatest. They're getting really thin as I age. But for just an everyday makeup look, it's okay to just kind of brush through those, give them a little bit of added color, and be on your way, because brows can take up a lot of time in your makeup routine. I realize that. And next to doing your foundation and your concealer, it can really be the thing that takes a lot of time. So I am just doing a really natural brow today, hardly any extra like carving out on the bottom or anything. If you have really sparse eyebrows, I understand that you have to spend a little bit of extra time here, so give yourself a little bit of extra time on that. And you won't be disappointed if you do give yourself some extra time, because the brows really frame the eyes, and it is really important to get those looking nice. Okay, and then I'm going to go into the pomade that they have in here, and I'm just going to run it through there to get those to set all day. And then one more time, I'm going to take my spoolie so everything looks really brushed and polished, and just brush through those. Okay, so there are 2 colors in here, and this is a cream color right here. And you can tell how bright it is. I'm just going to lay that down with my finger underneath the brow bone, just a little bit, and on this side as well. Just a little bit to give your eyebrow a little bit of a lift. Okay, so moving on, I am going to take the Chocolate Vice palette that I had in the haul, and I'm going to start with this basic taupey color right here. It is a very just basic brown color. And let's see, I'm going to take, this is a Luxie brush, and it's number 21, and it just says small shader. And I'm going to just go into that and tap it off, and very quickly I'm just going to, I don't actually do a windshield wiper motion too much, because as you all know, when your eyes get crepey and you do that motion like this, the skin moves. So I kind of try to do really light little brush strokes back and forth, and I'm still moving in that motion, but I'm going extra light. And I am just doing kind of more of a pat move motion. And that really seems to help me with not getting that, that look of things not being rounded and cohesive, like it's going, you don't want that. Okay, so what you want to do on this look, because we're just using a little bit of browns, is just make sure you pull that little tip right there out. I always do this even when I have the tape method that I use, because I like it to pull my eye up a little bit, because I don't do winged liner or anything like that, but I still need that lift on my mature eyes. So just a little bit of pulling it out. And that's that. Okay, now I'm going to take I think this is another, oh no, this is a Royal and Langton, just a flat, fluffy kind of paddle brush, crease brush. And since I'm trying to keep this very appropriate for every day, I'm just going to take this darkest color in the palette right here. Well, this is the darkest one, but this is just a brown color right here. And I'm just going to dip my paddle brush into that and tap this off. And I am not going to put a lot of this down. I am just going to stay right there on the outer edge, and I'm not coming over at all. I'm just staying on that outer edge. And I'm working in just a little bit of a V motion. Now the other eye. I'm going to take that original brush that there's nothing left on, and I'm just going to blend quite a bit. Now I'm going to go just into this matte peach color right here with my finger, and I'm just going to brush that across my lid just to brighten this look up just a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of brightness. I didn't want to go with the white, but you can if you want to. One more time with that fluffy brush, back and forth. Okay, now I'm going to take my Rimmel waterproof, I think this is a Scandalized liner in nude, and I'm going to do my waterline to give myself a wide awake look. Okay, and now I'm going to go on the top lash line and tight line as close into the lash line as I can. And then I'm going to take a Mally pencil that I have. This is an eyeshadow pencil. I like to use this on my bottom lash line when I'm in a hurry, because it gives that smudged out look and it is waterproof. And so for this everyday look, I'm not going to go all the way over. I'm going to go about 2/3. Sorry about my hand shaking. I'm going to go about 2/3 of the way over and stop. Take a little pencil brush. I hope you can see that. And back into this palette, and I'm going to go in with that original color. So keep in mind that I only used 3 colors on my eye today, and I'm just going to smudge that out ever so slightly just to set down that eyeliner to make sure that it doesn't budge through the day. Okay, so that's the eyes. I'm noticing that this concealer is really emollient, and it is kind of settling into the lines here. With the Tarte Shape Tape, I don't have that at all. But I'm going to take my e.l.f. under eye setting powder that is super duper fine, and I'm just going to set that down super lightly, because I feel like if you get too much powder underneath those eyes that are aging, you just do not look good. It ends up by the end of the day looking like a dried out mess, and I can't handle that on my eye. Okay, next I'm going to take my dupe for my NARS Ita brush that I got for $2 on Amazon, and I'm going to take that HD Pro palette for, sorry, there's the light, the HD Pro palette contour palette, and I'm going to go into the lightest contour shade in here, and I'm not going to do a ton, but I do want to carve these cheeks out just a tiny bit to give the illusion of a bit of a cheekbone, since I don't. And the other thing, that if I'm wearing my hair up like this, I definitely want to go up in my hairline and up on my high forehead, because I have such a high forehead, and I want to bring that down just a little bit. So I'm not doing a lot, because like I said, this is, I hate it when brushes lose their hair. That drives me crazy. So like I said, I want this to be a fairly natural looking look for me. And then I want to carve out this part of my cheek right here where I have so much fullness from being overweight, and then just down my chin just a tiny bit, and then just blend and blend up here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this light color mixed with this color right here. I'm just going to mix my brush in there, and I'm going to give my whole face just a little dusting to warm it up. And I'm going to go all over that way. and even down into the décolleté. Next, I'm going to take my Morphe E4 brush, which is an angle brush, blush brush, and I'm going to go into my Hot Spice palette of Makeup Revolution. This is their blush palette, and I'm going to mix these two colors right here. They're my favorite. And just put a little bit of blush. This is really pigmented, so see how I'm kind of wiping off my brush on the palette itself. I don't want to get too much blush on because, you know, I think sometimes we can overdo the blush and then sometimes we can't do enough. So I want to just kind of try to make that as natural as possible without going overboard. Okay, and to top all of that off, I'm going to be using my HD Pro Strobe palette. This is the one with 4 colors, and this is a cream color right here, and I'm going to, it's more of the pinky color, and I'm going to just dab that on right here on the cheekbone to kind of give a base for the other powder that I'm going to be putting on there, the highlight powder that I'm going to be putting on there. Now, you don't have to do this. You could stop right there, and that strobing powder is just pretty. It gives you just a really nice natural look, and you could just stop right there if you wanted to. And if you want to amp it up, then you can take either one of these colors. I'm just going to brush my brush across in both. And then just lightly go across your top of your cheekbones again. And I dust my nose out just a tiny bit to illuminate my nose. And then I go on top of the Cupid's bow right there. And then I don't want to forget that doing the inside of your eye right here can make you look wide awake. So I'm just going to go back into the powder pink part blush of this. You could use either one that you wanted to. And I'm just going to do the corners of my eyes right here to give them a little bit of a brightness. Lastly, I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am going to just use a big huge powder brush. This one is the E1 from Morphe, and I am just going to dab it in the middle of my face where my face gets really oily during the day. And I'm going to try and diminish those pores. Okay, now I'm going to set my whole look, and this is so important. If you're going somewhere for the whole day, if you're going to the office for the whole day, or you're doing, you know, something where you need your makeup to last for the whole day, please use this setting spray. Use your powder to diminish your pores lightly, but then use your spray, because if you use this spray and you use quite a bit of it, you're really going to have something that lasts all day. And when I say quite a bit, I mean quite a bit. Now I'm going to grab something to fan my face with first, because immediately after I spray this, I go in and I fan my face so that if it's, you know, too heavy, it doesn't like run or the droplets aren't showing or anything like that. This has a nice spray on it, so I usually don't worry about droplets. And then I just go in and I fan really quick so it can dry quickly. The other nice thing that fanning does is it gets you out the door quicker. You don't have to wait for that to dry. Okay, and I'm going to use the Shea Moisture lipstick that I have today, and this is in Tea Rose. I want to give this look just a little bit of brightness, so I'm doing a little bit brighter on my lip. And then I'm going to go over it with my new Buxom lip polish that I got during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and this is in Lavender Cosmo. And I'm just going to put some right there in the middle to give my lips a shinier, you know, more of a moisture rich look to them. Okay, now I'm going to curl my eyelashes and put 2 coats of mascara on, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so there is the finished look. Now I have to say that on the daily, I go a little bit more glam. I love makeup and I love to wear a lot of eye makeup. So this look is very toned down for me, but it's a pretty beautiful look for every day. Very simple, very easy. You know, a really pretty blush, a nice highlighter, and a pretty bright pink lipstick or coral, whatever you're into, and you're ready to go. I think that this is a fun look. I love it. Everybody can achieve this. Everybody can rock this look, no matter if you're very conservative or if you love to do a lot of makeup. This is a nice look just to have on the daily. So that is everything for today's video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if you like these quick everyday looks, a full face tutorial, or if you would rather just see maybe some eye looks, or if there's a specific part, foundation, concealer, blush, whatever you're looking for to have a tutorial on. Let me know that. I'd love to do some of those for you guys. That is all. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my very next video. Bye, you guys.